Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Jasmine Sharkar with you. Now, last class we have discussed the first chapter of biotechnology. But now here, today I am discussing the second chapter of biotechnology, that is biotechnology and its application. And it also a most important chapter. Okay, now let's start with me. Okay. So, there are three critical research areas of biotechnology. Are one is providing the best catalyst in the form of improved organism, usually a microbe or pure enzyme. Or second one is creating optimal condition through engineering for a catalyst to act, and the third one is downstream processing technologies to purify the protein or organic compound. So let us now learn how human beings have used biotechnology to improve the quality of human life, especially in the field of food production and health. Right? So then the next topic is biotechnological application in agriculture. So let us take a look at the three options that can be throughout for increasing food production. One is agrochemical based agriculture. Second is organic agriculture, and third one is genetically engineered crop based agriculture. Okay, there have green revolution succeed in tripling the food supply, but yet it was not enough to feed the growing human population. Okay, increased yields have partly been due to the use of improved crop varieties, not mainly due to the use of better management practices and uses of agrochemicals, that is fertilizers and pesticides. So use of genetically modified crops is a possible solution, right? So plants, bacteria, fungi and animals whose genes have been altered by manipulation are called genetically modified organism, means GMO. Okay, but but GM plants have been useful in many ways. Genetically modification has have there have 4-5 points that is most important. Now we are going to some of the application of biotechnology in agriculture that you can study in detail are the production of pest resistant plants, which could decrease the amount of pesticide used, that is Bt toxin is produced by a bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis, that is Bt for short. So Bt toxin gene has been cloned from the bacteria and been expressed in plants to provide resistance to insects without the need for insecticides. In effect, created a biospec pesticide. Examples are Bt cotton, Bt corn, rice, tomato, potato, and soybean and all that. Okay, so but then we are going to Bt cotton. So there are some strains of Bacillus thuringiensis produce proteins that kill certain insects, such as Lepidopterans, that is tobacco budworm, armyworm. That's like you have many insects. Okay, so a toxic injectable protein. And why does this toxin not kill the bacillus? Actually, the beta toxin protein exits as inactive protoxins, but once an insect ingests the inactive toxin, it is converted into an active form of toxin due to the alkaline pH of the gut, which solubilizes the crystal. The activated toxin binds to the surface of midgut epithelial cells. That is most important, right? And also create pores, okay, that cause cell swelling and lysis and genetically causes death of the insect. And the toxin is coded by a gene, that is cry1ac, named as cry gene, So there are a number of them. For example, the proteins encoded by the genes CRY1AC and CRY2AB cotton. The cotton volumes. So that of CRY1AB controls corn borer. Okay. Then we are going to pest resistant plants, that is several nematodes, parasites. So what's nematode parasites? A wide variety of plants and animals including human beings. So a nematode Meloidigyne incognita infects the roots of tobacco plants. That is most important line for it and to cause a great reduction in yield. A novel strategy was adapted to prevent this infestation, which was based on the process of RNA interference, that is RNAi. So RNAi takes places involves silencing of a specific mRNA due to a complementary double-stranded RNA. So molecule that binds to and prevent translation of mRNA. So how types of DNA or RNA use here? Not double-stranded RNA. Okay. Using Agrobacterium vectors, nematode-specific genes were introduced into the host plant. Introduction of DNA was such that it produced both sense and antisense RNA in the host cells. These two RNA being complementary to each other formed a double-stranded RNA that initiated RNAi and thus silenced the specific RNA of the nematodes. The consequence was that the parasite could not survive in a transgenic host expressing specific interfering RNA. The transgenic plant therefore got itself protected from the parasite. Okay, then there have a two diagram. Okay, so that's for today. Okay, I will coming soon in the second session of second chapter biotechnology. Waiting for me. Thank you. Stay safe, stay home in this corona situation and pray for all. Okay, bye.